my God, Lauren.
Trade Talk Sports back again with another video, and today, yeah. So a couple things, a lot's been going on today, and I want to talk about obviously the press conference was taking place today, and I also want to discuss some things that's been going around with Austin Genty, the Bears. But first thing I want to get away obviously is the two press conference, Ben Johnson and Ryan Post. That's the first thing I want to get done first. But first off, bring the show for Ben Johnson. Obviously, if you guys know how I feel about Ben Johnson, I'm excited that he's here. I think he's a guy that can develop Caleb Williams. And I think that he's actually a leader of men. I think he's the type of guy that the Bears really need, and he's the type of guy that really can fix his offense and really help Caleb Williams develop. And I think it's a good pairing for Caleb and Ben Johnson because they both will connect if you put them both together. Now, first off, a couple takeaways I want to take from Ben Johnson's press conference is one thing he's very I feel like he's very confident of building his offensive line, and that's a great thing because if you see how recently this offensive line has been, it's been horrific. It's been bad. Just hearing how the way he speaks about his offensive line, it really makes you really, I guess, hopeful. Really think he can really do something with the offensive line. And, you know, you got pieces. You got Trey Smith that he can add. It's really about just, it's really, I really like that, him coming from Detroit, which they had a good offensive line. And they can really try to bring this to hopefully Chicago. Another thing I do want to talk about is his strategy of hiring his staff. Dennis Allen is a really good guy. The way he talk about hiring guys, his staff, really stood out to me. I think that he really kind of explained himself saying that, he tried to, our offensive coordinator, Deacon Dole, I believe. If I said his name wrong, correct me in the comments. But I really think he's trying, the offensive coordinator, I really feel like he's trying to really get this right, obviously, because we had bad offensive coordinators in the past. But I like that he didn't bring nobody that he likes. He brought somebody who thinks he's going to get the job done and really fits his mold of what the team is trying to do. And that's something that like Eberflus and other coaches really didn't do well. They'll get staffs that really connect with them instead of getting somebody fresh and trying to help them, get somebody for this team that can really connect with this team and connect with players. Not saying that a lot of other coaches did, but you see how that filmed out. You see how that played out. Also, he really likes Caleb Williams, obviously. Hearing something that, it's Super Bowl, they're both watching Super Bowl, and he's watching the Super Bowl with his family, just getting, came from Detroit, and Caleb calls him, asking, hey, what do you think about this play that the Eagles or whoever playing the Chiefs did, what do you think about this play? Oh, I like this design play, this and that, which really kind of like the connection that they're already having. Obviously, they have not even got to practice yet, none of this, but I really like the fact that they're connecting, they're trying to connect with each other, and they're really trying to, connect as a cute quarterback, and that's really important. Like a lot of good quarterbacks, a lot of good quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they have really good connections, and hopefully, I like that Ben Johnson is really trying to get the best out of Caleb Williams so far. Obviously, we have not got to the field, but from what I'm hearing so far, it's really, I really like this. I really do like this for all Bears, obviously. And something he really pointed out to me. I really believe that, I feel like he mentioned something about, you know, obviously he's trying to have a different offense than Detroit, but he's really trying to still. I feel like he's still trying to match some of it. I guess that Detroit had, bring some of it here, which I think would be perfect for us. Because listen, we never had a good offense in a hot minute, so I really think it's something that we need, and I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Also for Ryan Poles, we go to Ryan Poles now. Um, I really think for Ryan Poles, um, he really addressed the offensive line. Not offensive line. He really addressed that for agency. His goal is to definitely, it's the most definitely, in my opinion, it's a really, you know, he obviously had his approach to free agency, and he really, I really feel like he didn't really say he's going to offensive line, but that's his goal is to really upgrade offensive line, and I do like that he said that. That he approaches to obviously get this offensive line because we need the offensive line and we need the bad. Also, take away from his pressure. He kind of dodged a little bit of the Trey Smith question, but I understand it because like you really can't say certain things, obviously, because as a coach you really can't, or as a GM you really can't. There's some things you really can't say out, obviously, but obviously he has had experience with Trey Smith in the past because he used to work with the Kansas City Chiefs. If you guys don't know, he used to work with Kansas City Chiefs, and that is something very good. Also, something that really stood out to me: competition for Braxton Jones. Now, obviously, how do I feel about Braxton Jones? Me personally, I think he's okay. I think he's a decent. Personally, I really think he's a good backup. I mean, I think he's an okay starter. I wouldn't be mad if they decided to keep him. I wouldn't hate it if they traded him. Personally, I'm okay either way. But I'm gonna be real with you though. I personally think they should just. The really thing is the interior. You need a right guard, a center, and a left guard. Those are the really big needs because Coleman Shelton, he's a backup maybe, but he's not getting the job done. Right guard situation, I ain't even know what to say about that. It was just a mess. Tevin Jenkins got hurt a lot. I don't think he's coming back. I mean, at best, when he's healthy, when he's healthy, he's very good. But the problem is, he doesn't really stay healthy a lot. Can that somebody you can rely on? I don't know. Not me personally, no. I really just think that you have to just really upgrade the interior line. It's really important. You need to add a center. Like Drew Dolman could be a good option. I think Trey Smith for right guard. Now, I'm going to say this real quick. There is reports saying that Trey Smith will and possibly, not will, but that he could possibly be, the Chiefs could re-sign him. Which, if that's so, that would suck. They could franchise tag and try to get a deal done. If that's so, that would absolutely suck. Then we will have to go another way forward, obviously. But, if we can get Trey Smith, if he falls, I think to me it's 50-50. If he falls, if he lands a free agency, there is really, in my opinion, nowhere else I can put it. You have to go get him. You have to go trade for Trey Smith. Because Trey Smith, they're done all right. That's a very good pairing. And obviously, that is something that the Bears need as an offensive line. And that is a lot of good quarterbacks have as an offensive line. Patrick Mahomes has a good offensive line. Now, obviously, you see what happened when they don't have an offensive line. Like, look at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was sacked so many times. I mean, do look like Caleb this year, looking like a rookie. And he just really looked. He didn't really to me, man. He didn't really look just. Patrick Mahomes is like Patrick Mahomes, surprisingly, and the defense just tore him up, man. There was just obviously some questions about Patrick Mahomes, but that's for another day, man. But really, in general, we really need an offensive line, and hopefully, I'm really excited to see what in free agency we can do with the offensive line. there's so many options we can go for. I mean, we can get a guy from for the Rams who I think would be a good option. I think something Jackson, I believe he could be a good option for left guard. I mean, you can get the Lions guy in here. I think him and Ben Johnson has obviously connections, so he can bring him some in. Drew Dalman, you can obviously get some in the draft too, like Will Campbell. I think Will Campbell could be a good option. Tyler Booker could be a good option. And I like the way Tyler Booker plays. He has that monster nastiness to him. And I really think you adding him to the offensive line, I think obviously he needs time. But if you can add him to this team, obviously he works some of the kinks out. I think he could be a very good offensive line. Kevin Banks, that's the name you consider in the draft. The guy from, I forgot his name. There's a whole bunch of options at offensive line that we can go address in the draft. Obviously, and I like also the fact that, Pose really, he raved about Ben Johnson, and that's a very good thing. I don't think he did that much at he did it, but I really think that, personally, he really just, I really feel like, he really raved about him. This is one of the coaches said. His football IQ is on a totally different level from what I've seen and what we've been used to. That's a little hint at somebody. If you know his name, you know who he is. If you don't know him, Eberflus, but I'm not going to get to him. We already know how. We already know how Eberflus failed. He was a disaster. But yeah, I think that's how I really feel about the press conference. I loved it. Obviously, you got Combine this week, and it's gonna be very interesting. The Combine, you got offensive line for me. I'm really looking at because we need an offensive line bad, and defensive end we need too. But defensive, I think you can add somebody. I like a defensive tackle in the draft. You could address that. You can really address the defensive end. Maybe get a Khalil Mack. You can get a Josh Sweat. You can get maybe get Chase Young because he has familiarity. He's familiar with Dennis Allen's scheme, so that could be a good fit. Ken Mack too. Khalil Mack has some good also has some familiar with Dennis Allen, so that's another good thing. Who knows? Could we trade for Michael Parsons? I mean, or Myles Garrett, Matt Crosby? That has to be wait and see. But that is something that we have to wait and see. But I would love for us to do it as long as we're not wasting too many draft capital, because we need draft capital stuff to address the trenches, because this is the year we need to address. It's the trenches and the trenches and the trenches. Look, I know we can go get a third receiver, Marquise Brown, but really this team needs to really be addressing this offensive line and trenches. That's how games are won, by trenches. A lot of these good teams, Eagles, you see what the Eagles did. They have a good trenches, they have offensive line, they have a good defensive line. Chiefs, obviously they didn't play good, but that's why they went to the Super Bowl, because they have a good offensive line, defensive line. Lions, pretty much, obviously, look at these good teams that have that. Obviously, quarterback with Jared Goff is a whole different story. But, yeah. But another thing before I let you guys go, it's something I really want to talk about. Austin Gentry. Obviously, he's set to meet with the Chicago Bears this week. And this is how I feel about it. If we can address the offensive line, I'm perfectly fine taking Austin Gentry. If you have not watched Austin Gentry, go look him up, please. He is a dog. He is a beast. I mean, the way he has, he could be the number one running back, personally. Maybe he takes over as your running back one. Maybe that could happen, but I really think Gentry, if you get an offensive line, you pairing Gentry, I think this offense can be very explosive, and I think, like I said, having an offensive line can really help this running game. And having Gentry with a good offensive line can really help DeAndre Swift, I think, too. Having Swift and Gentry, I think that's a very good matchup. That's a very good running back. You still got Johnson you can use a couple good times, too, so that'd be really good running. But I think your running back trio, I'm okay with that. So obviously they're gonna meet this week, and that's something really, that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Obviously, And I really do want to see how he does. I don't know if he's participating in the combine. I believe he probably will. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, but he probably will. I will have to go check. But I really, really think that if you add Ginty, make sure that you have to address the offensive line. But if you can add Ginty, I really do feel like he can really help this team and really help just this offense going forward. Obviously, having an offensive line helps that running back game, because if you have offensive line, it makes things a lot easier. And hopefully we'll see what happens. But real quick also, tell me what you guys think about it in the comments. What do you think about Ben Johnson being the Bears coach? What do you really think about Ben Johnson going forward? Do you feel like, and not even just that, do you feel like the Bears are going to get this right? Do you think the Bears are going to screw it up? Do you think, do you feel like, who would you guys think the Bears should draft? Like, just let me know in the comment section, man. I'll always check the comment section. I try to, at least, obviously I have my own life, but I always try to check the comments when I can. More content coming for you guys. I don't want to make this super duper long because I got to edit. I got to get to sleep. But hey, make sure you like and subscribe. More content on the way. Like I said, it's going to be very, very busy with me, man, because I'm about to be really doing this. Like, it's about to be a lot of videos for you guys, a lot more content. So, just because the Bears season's over, I mean, I'm not dropping content. I'm still dropping content. So, appreciate you guys. Maybe give the video a like, subscribe. The Bears. Go.